global truth.
Use OC spray or pepper spray to subdue them and to get them to follow directions and get out. At 770 Eastern Parkway, that's the Lubavitch Abad headquarters, they were having some work done. And, as they were installing some new pipes, they broke through into a tunnel that ran below the building. And they were very surprised by this. It turns out that a small number of the students at the shul, who were actually here from Israel, were digging a tunnel from the basement into adjoining buildings and taking the dirt and actually filling up a disused communal bath house. They said that the reason they were doing that was because if they poured it out on the sidewalk, everyone would know and they'd get busted. And then they cut a hole through a grate so that they could come up out onto the sidewalk without having to get the key to the padlock to the cellar doors.
Yo, this is wild. This some diabolical, insidious, insane, crazy madness going on, jumping off in 2024, man. You got these synagogue members climbing through the tunnels like the Ninja Turtles. And there's been brawls and riots breaking out in New York City over these underground tunnels. Police trying to do their job and remove these people out of the synagogue. They don't even want to take directions because the entitlement that these people have. And I don't know what they got going on, man. We're going to talk about the arrests that were made because there were 9 arrests made. At least these individuals are being exposed. Let's cheer for that. I mean, this is crazy. This is wild, y'all.
The people who are in charge of 770 Eastern Parkway, when they discovered this, immediately put into motion plans to fill in the tunnels with cement. Unfortunately, these students, 5 of them, jumped into the hole and would not allow workers to complete the repairs. Strangely enough, they also would not get out of the holes once the police were called to remove them. And they literally started pulling panels off the wall in the sanctuary, and the police had to.
This is what happened when you quote unquote, let's word it this way. This is what happened when you give certain individuals too much power. They get entitled. They believe that they have diplomatic immunity and they are above the law. And you know what the scriptures tell us? In Revelations 2, verse 9, it says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. That's straight out of the word of the Most High. He says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty. He knows who are suffering in the planet. He knows who are at the bottom. He knows who are dealing with oppression. But he says, but we are rich, meaning we're spiritually rich. And I know the blasphemy of them who pretty much claim to be you, but they not. They actually the synagogue of Satan. The Bible is just jumping off the pages. We'll let the word speak.
To, in the end, use OC spray or pepper spray to subdue them and to get them to follow directions and get out. Rabbi Menachem Schneerson is famous, and one of his final edicts before he died was that they needed to expand 770. And what he meant was they needed to make it bigger so that more students could come and more worshipers could come, and they needed to make it a larger and larger physical space. These students were taking the famous rabbi's edict to expand the property literally and very forcefully dig out more space. The next step in this story is The city has now gone into a building that they have not been in for quite some time and inspected the physical plant, which, I mean, you're undermining the structure when you break holes in load.
You know, New York City is truly becoming Gotham City. I mean, you got real live villains in the city that operate underground. And it's a lot more going on underground in major cities than just these under these religious institutions, man. There's whole cities under there, man. Don't let them fool you. There's all kind of experiments going on people underground. Um, there's all kind of labs, whether it be cloning labs or just literal just beta tests that they're running on the people. But these things are very real. The truth is stranger than fiction, y'all.
Bearing walls at the base of these buildings. So all of these structures are now in question. Like none of the members of the Lubavitch Chabad can go in there other than to lead the inspectors around through and show them where the damage is and that kind of thing. But all kinds of measurements were being taken. I mean, I was watching the DOB inspectors, all kinds of measurements were being taken, pictures were being taken, samples were being taken. So now what you're going to see is, I'm guessing, a laundry list of violations, of building violations, which are going to be served by the city. And that, I think, is the next phase. And then we'll see what happens from there. It's a very strange story. You know,
Yeah, this is insane. And you know, not to exclude a certain group of people or target anybody. You know, I don't doubt that in all religious institutions all over the world, or at least in every major city within the United States, that there's different things going on that is just things that are mysterious, let's just put it that way, going on in different religious institutions, because a lot of these places are very cult like and they operate within each other. And we'll leave it at that, but we need to discuss these arrests that were made. We need to see exactly why they were arrested. Let me go there, because there were 9 arrests. And the news says 9 men were arrested after the chaotic scene at the historical synagogue that saw a group of students clash with police over a secret tunnel leading to the structure nearby the building. Okay, so I'm thinking that those 9 people were arrested for whatever they got going on, whether it's organ harvesting, child trafficking. I mean, we don't know the limit, we don't know what's going on here. I haven't seen any arrests made yet when it comes to what they were actually doing with those underground tunnels, other than just all they're telling us is just there's building infractions. We got these issues going on and they have broke city law or whatever the case is. But personally, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like it's something a little bit more daunting and looming that we should be concerned about. You know, these people are supposed to be the representation of righteousness, the epitome of righteousness here in this country. They're supposed to be, right? So we need to figure out what's going on. What were they using these tunnels for? So, there's a lot of rumors going on. There's different news going out there. They're talking about organ harvesting, trafficking. We don't know, ladies and gentlemen. What say you? Is it time that we open up our word, read, find out who the real people are, and do what we need to do? Or, keep putting our trust in what they tell us? Protect your children. Stay safe out there. With that being said, shalom and peace.